Hey guys, Lorcan the Hedgehog here, and welcome to my Simpsons Season 28 reviews. Today I'm here to review the second episode of the 28th season, Friends and Families. Now the plot of this episode is that Mr. Burns decides, after his death of his psychiatrist, Mr. Burns decides to get a family. But after an accident involving Professor Frank, he decides to get a virtual reality family. He accepts Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie, but due to the fact that he's the dad, he tells Homer to go away. At first, Homer is upset, but he soon realizes that he can do whatever he wants without the family knowing. But one day up the ceiling, he catches the attention of his next door neighbor named Julia. And she seems to be pretty much at the same liking as Homer, likes beer, laying on the roof, and now has a bowling. And Homer starts to have a female best friend. And just that. This is honestly, by season 28, the whole thing involving Marge and Homer's marriage is overdone. You know by now they're just going to get together no matter what it is. No matter what threat it is. Even to a point of a separation, you know there's going to be an episode. They're going to be back to normal because status quo. The last time I think the Simpsons tried this idea was the season 27 premiere. Every stream, which this one failed hard on. Even with the point of you trying to act at the separation point and divorce angle, we still know that this, unless it was the last episode of The Simpsons, there was no possible way you can actually get away with this plot. Luckily, in this episode, Julia has no interest with Homer. She has no interest of a romantic angle, just a best friend angle. Which by now is refreshing to see. It's refreshing to finally have a female character with Homer that isn't like a pre-existing character, female character that isn't in love with Homer. And even to the point where Homer falls in love. It's great to finally see an episode where it's just Homer with a female best friend, and also that the episode already just blatantly says, "Hey, Julia has a husband, so we can't really use the whole thing where she falls in love with Homer part, because she's already married." Another thing about the episode, it has its good jokes. Now, like I said, when Every Man's Dream, that one failed hard on. When it came to the Homer and Marge angle, it failed. Especially with the divorce angle, it still fell. This episode is honestly a great episode to watch. The fact that it finally just sticks with Homer just having a female best friend and now have a love interest in another woman to fall in love with is great to see. Even at the point where they try to do the Lady and Tramp spaghetti scene, they avoided that scene. Just to point out that this is dead serious. We're dead serious. This is Homer. We're only putting Julia as Homer's best friend. But in the end, the episode does take a while, though. It takes a while because it starts off with Mr. Burns and the psychiatrist, to set up that he needs a family, so we can get it. The episode itself, it takes a while, but once Mr. Burns is given the virtual reality, the on Oculus Rift, the episode moves on from here. It has plenty of good jokes from the Mr. Smithers changing Bart, Lisa, and Maggie's head to other people. I won't spoil that one for you. Like I said, the spaghetti scene. And let's see, I was thinking there was another joke. There was actually another few jokes. There was a couch gag that was funny. And just the kind of sarcastic way Lisa talks to Mr. Burns. As soon as the episode goes, Lisa starts to act more sarcastic to Mr. Burns, which is fine to see, And as well, Mr. Burns, it has plenty of good jokes. It shows that Mr. Burns is still a good character. It shows the recent 2 episodes of the season has Mr. Burns evolved, and it seems that Harry Shearer can still, even after 28 seasons, he can still make a good performance out of these characters. Sure, there are a few things that are bad about the episode. For example, Marge just gets pissed off Homer for no real reason. Just because the fact that he's friends with a female, it's not. I know by now Marge will probably get mad, but come on, Marge. I know that pretty much in Homer's night out, sure, he was dancing to a woman, the woman, a belly dancer, but that didn't act like he had an affair with her, you know? He didn't have an affair with Marge for that princess, whatever, Canilla, or whatever her name is. This episode's, yeah, so, Marge still on the negative side, huh? But then again, Marge does have her good moments in the episode, especially when it comes to Mr. Burns. It's really is a funny episode, and actually better than its season premiere. Honestly, I would say you can watch this more than once for Modern Simpsons, you know? It's actually is a good episode of The Simpsons. It has a few shared problems like all modern episodes do, but it's funny. It's actually funny, and I'm just glad that they actually try not to do the Homer and Marge shtick again in this episode. I'm glad to finally just see Homer with a female best friend compared to all the other times. And you may think, the Julia kind of sounds familiar to people, and that's probably because of Mindy Simmons from The Last Temptation of Homer, where in that episode, Mindy is the exact same as Homer. She loves donuts, she's lazy, but in that one they try to have the romantic angle where Homer is starting to fall in love with Mindy, but he's trying to stick with Marge. This episode, Julia may be a little more, I don't know what's the word. I don't think she's as lazy as Mindy. And the episode doesn't immediately throws that whole thing of will they fall in love apart out the window. Like I said, Julia just mentions that Homer is just a friend of hers, and she knows that Homer loves Marge. So now it's refreshing to see. I honestly say you guys should really watch this episode, and maybe if you want, maybe you can watch it a few times. It is an episode kind of worth watching, really, to finally see the Homer and Marge thing left aside, for this episode. I might get this feeling that this will probably be the only time this will ever happen, but you never know. We still have like a few episodes left for this season. I don't know if the season 29 or season 30 is going to be a thing, but well. So anyway, on the next episode I'll be reviewing for probably next week will be The Town. That will be the next episode of The Simpsons, and soon Treehouse of Horror 27 will be coming. And for October, and it's soon about 2 weeks, and as well be counting its 600 episode of The Simpsons. And speaking of which, speaking about Treehouse of Horror, Simpsons Tap Out is coming back soon enough with a new Treehouse of Horror with already a teaser picture. I show on the screen here. Maybe it actually might do a separate video, but it's there. So I'll see you guys next time for the next Simpsons, season 28 review, and for Treehouse of Horror, the event Treehouse of Horror 2016 event of Simpsons Tap Out. I'll see you guys next time.